Well, hi YouTube. This is JR from Impoverished Prepping coming to you today with a really neat thing put together by Chris from 4 Directions Outdoor. He came up with this great idea. He thought, why don't we take a couple of the YouTube channels and start a FireKit, send that to another YouTube channel, see what that individual could put together and contribute, and then send that to the next person and so on. So, from what I understand, this has been to 5, 6, 7, 8 people now, and now I think we are the final people to get this. So, here at Impoverished Prepping, we opened up this crazy box, which was way bigger than I thought it was going to be, and started pulling everything out and placing them on the table. And just kind of wanted to take a peek what was inside, because I'm getting kind of jealous myself. So, we have a bushcraft book, as well as some dragon tinder, and a couple of different packs. I'm not sure what's inside these, but now I'm going to have to order some because I'm getting quite curious what's inside here myself. There's cottonwood fungus with cottonwood inner bark. Somebody added an EDC style credit card knife. I have one of these in my wallet. Absolutely love it. It's a little Altoids tin with a Ranger band on it. I peeked inside. It's got a couple synthetic fire starters. I think it was might have been some dryer lint with some wax. Not really sure what's in there. Kind of checked it out. That's what it looked like to me. There's a box with a couple of natural tinders in it as well. Old Man's Beard, homemade fire cubes, powdered aspen. That's one I got to check out. I haven't played with that. And some charred pine. Now, as far as the tools, there is the most amazing tomahawk I have ever seen. This thing is wicked sharp with a really nice handle on it. This, I'm all kinds of jealous over. Gotta get me one of those. There is a Mora in a really nice kydex sheath that this blade is incredibly sharp. Somebody's worked on this, but maybe before I send this out I might take the file to it, because the back spine of this doesn't feel like it would really catch a spark real well on a ferro rod. So this might need a little bit of TLC to it. There's also a saw, as well as a nice hefty chunk of fat wood with a carabiner, and there's a ferro rod on that. I might not feel so bad scraping that. We might find out right here, because some of the coating's been removed off of here. So this, yeah, I'm barely getting any little hint of a spark out of this. So I think we're going to go ahead and take the file to that and make this a tool worthy of sparking a ferro rod. So there's fat wood on there and a carabiner. There's another fat wood handle and a brand new ferro rod. That looks like a Nathan 4071 rod. I'm pretty sure that's what's in here. Got that as well. There is a pill fob. I don't know if there's anything inside of this, but you could definitely put, oh, there is. There's a wet fire in there. And there's a couple of tinder quicks in there as well. So that'll keep that nice and dry. There's also kydex. Oh, that's looks like a gear nut special right there. Place a Bic lighter in there and it'll hold that with some serious retention. And you could also attach this to another kydex sheath. Be willing to bet these holes line up. We can find some. That they do. So this could be attached to this. Would be fine. That's jute twine, cobra weave, and jute twine itself makes a heck of a flash tinder. And there's also a UST. Yep, that's got an edge to it. That should throw some sparks without a problem. this rod, that sparker, currently would work better than that Mora at the moment till we get to working on that. So there's a ferro rod in there. So far we have 1, 2, 3 ferro rods, as well as an ever match. You put Zippo fluid in here, and it has a little sparker with some cotton on it. There's a ferro rod right here, so we actually have 4 ferro rods. But once you have some fluid on this, you can spark that, catch the match, and that would be quite useful to get a fire going. So it's like having a reusable match. So we have no matches. Guess we'll have to add some matches. This also came with a really neat bag, backpack style. The inside will actually hold the tomahawk and probably most everything else inside. There's a backpack style haversack. There's also another smaller side pack here, and that would hold the majority of this as well. So what are we going to contribute? Well, we just noticed that there aren't any matches, so we'll go ahead and add some stormproof matches to this mix. These are the ones that smell really funny, and you can't blow them out, and like you can dump these in water and they just keep going. So we're going to add some stormproof matches to this. We're also going to add an interesting device. Some people who weld or have a torch might recognize this. This is how we get torches started. You just turn on your oxygen acetylene, your propane, or whatever. Hold this over the nozzle, give it a squeeze, and we'll actually start your torch for you. Why would I put this in here? You ever been outside when it was really cold? You had some gloves on, you didn't necessarily want to take the gloves off, and well, you want to get warm. What's neat with this is if you take something like the cottonwood inner bark, like some of the other quick tinders, jute twine. Jute twine is right here. Shred that up. You can now, with your gloves on, your frozen hand dexterity, absolute junk, be able to hold this over your tinder, give it a pop. That will ignite. So this is a pretty foolproof, one-handed, I've got one of these for my 10-year-old daughter kind of, this is easy peasy. Got one of those. So, jute twine. How about 350 feet? That's a lot of jute twine. We're going to add this to the pack. We also have, this is pure, cleaned pine sap. You can make pine pitch with this. You could make tea out of it and enjoy it. However, what you can do with this is get this to a liquid form. You can dip wood into it and literally create a torch you can use to carry a flame for miles. Depending on how much of this you add, how many times you dip it, and how thick it is, will depend on how long it will last. So if you don't use all this for tea, you can definitely use this to transport a fire from one location to another. Next, we have the Zippo branded Tinder Quicks and Flint Wheel. These you just pull out, you fluff them up, you spin the wheel, throws a spark, catch this, add your tinders, and you've got a fire. Next, a couple of Vaseline saturated cotton balls in a baggie. Wait, I said Vaseline saturated cotton balls. That would be not a cotton ball with a glob of Vaseline massaged into it. What makes these different, what we've found, and every one of us have these in our bags, if you change the chemical composition of Vaseline, your petroleum jelly, you turn that into a liquid form with a little bit of heat, whether it's on the stove top, we've knocked over our fire to the coals, put a huge glob into a cup, and just set it on top of the coals to literally just liquefy that petroleum jelly. And then you can take a handful of cotton balls and literally stir it in until it absorbs all of that liquid Vaseline. Now, these are not, if you were to squeeze these, you'd get a drippy drop out of them. These catch and last forever. I think I got about an 18-minute burn time out of these, whereas regular Vaseline saturated cotton balls has a handful of Vaseline rubbed into it, or even chapstick, we're looking at about 10 minutes. This is almost double. Love this. It's a little more technique, it's a little more messy, but meh, it's worth it. So we're going to add some of these to the mix. Then, all kinds of ideas on how to start a fire primitively. Gosh, I wish I had some flint and steel to add this, but I don't. So I'll do the next best thing. A jet lighter. This is a butane lighter. This is completely empty to ship because we can't send you something actually has something in it. But you basically fill this, you hold it upside down, put the butane inside. This, whenever you turn it on, has a switch on the side that you can lock it on. There is a warning label suggesting you might not want to run this for more than a half a minute at a shot. But you can light this, turn it on, hold it in any direction you need to, and get blaze to something wet, dry it out, and get it going. It does also have a safety cap on it, so we don't get nasty dirt inside of it. And also, it can't be lit with cap on. It needs that oxygen to at least get started. These might not work out so great whenever the weather gets really, really cold. And I used one of these just a little while ago, and it's like 20 degrees in my area at the moment, and it still works. That's a plus 20 degrees. Negative 20 degrees, I'm not so sure that this is going to function for you. So, hopefully, you won't be in negative 20 degrees and you won't be relying on this, but this, out of everything here, would probably be the first thing that most people would grab to start a fire. So, the convenience sake is here. However, at negative 20 degrees, that's where we're going to be ending up utilizing one of these other sources. So that's where that practice comes in. And guaranteed you can get something going if you practice. So, what's next? We've got the SAS Survival Handbook. The BushCraft book is amazing. What's not in the BushCraft book is in the rest of the SAS Survival book. Everything from how to make a fire, how to find food, how to preserve food, how to make a shelter, water purification, you name it. This book is chock full of everything on first aid, being prepared, disaster, self-defense. This is the 3rd edition, and this is a phenomenal book. That's why we're adding it to the mix. And then lastly, what the heck is this thing? Well, this is called a grab it pack. It is a right down the side of the leg style pouch with a pocket in the top, pocket in the front, a pocket in the top. It also has a side pocket. Should fit multi-tool or some of the tins. And this is a very nice hands-free way to maneuver through the woods, and as you grab things, you can stuff natural tinders in on the move. So, hopefully, whomever happens to get this kit is going to be absolutely floored, and practice, practice, practice. Get use out of all of this. I'm actually kind of jealous on some of the items in here, and trust me, that tomahawk's really sweet. But it's going to go back in the box and head on out to whomever wins this. So, I really appreciate the opportunity to allow, Pavris Prepping to contribute to this great, great giveaway. So, somebody is going to get a heck of a kit. So, again, this is JR from Pavris Prepping, and I hope that you like, share, subscribe, do that comment thing at the bottom and let us know what you think about this kit. Let us know what you think about our channel. What is it we can do to educate you? So, till then, we'll see you next time, YouTube.